You brought the Spice Girls to Salford. Do you remember that after party?
I mean, Hazelhurst Road.
Yeah.
All the Spice Girls came.
It's mad, that, isn't it?
And I remember, but that is the first house that I brought Victoria to when we first started dating.
I always think of Nobby Styles, in the B team at Littleton Road, and just Nobby being in those changing rooms and having a go at us and saying, come on lads, get your tackles in and stuff like that.
When you have someone like Nobby Styles training you, it's special. And that's why when we went back recently and we walked out onto Littleton Road, it's my first time. I've been there for 25, 30 years, for a long time. And I had to walk off on my own because I got emotional. You know, the fact that we have this training ground for Salford now, and we're going to renovate it, we're going to turn it into something, but it doesn't need much because you walk in there and it just reminds you of like the history and the past that we had there. It's such a special place. That's why I think that Salford means so much to me. You know, people were humble, people were tough, people were caring, and that's what I loved about living in Salford. All I remember is that Salford City black and orange banner. So when obviously you guys took over and all of a sudden it was red, I was like, the first thing we have to do is take it back.
Should we go inside and have a look at the kit?
We should. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Oh, there we go.
Is that the original?
Yeah. That's the flag that haunts me. The flag that basically has stared at me every Salford home game for like 8, 9, 10 years since I changed the colours. And now it can go with pride, and actually we're back. So it's got to that time. Let me go and get something.
Where are you going?
Here we go.
Oh, there you go. A proper shirt.
There we go.
Okay. How great is that?
I like
Do
it.
you think fans will like it?
I think they will, yeah.
I think it was really important when we decided and we got the vote to actually change the shirt to orange. You know, we got sent through so many different oranges, and I was like, okay, we just have to adjust it. It just has to be a really vibrant orange, and I think it's great. You know, I think it's going to stand out. You said it's important for me to actually do a video to the fans explaining why we're doing this and what we want to do, and I was nervous about that because I'm a London boy talking to a bunch of Salford fans, but I think that once we described what we wanted to do and why we're doing it and we're taking it back to what Salford is all about, they were fully on board, and to be fair, the fans have been amazing. It's a proper shirt, but you know what I love about this is, you know, I talk about Miami and I talk about owning the colour pink, and now we're gonna own the colour orange in club football.
Talk to me about it, because you've been working on this design for like 6 months now, 7 months.
Yeah, we wanted to take it back to that old Salford logo. And when you look at the history of Salford, you know, the lion is so prominent. But then we wanted to introduce the rose, you know, because the Salford Lads Club is such an important institution in Salford. So it means something to the people and the community.
And then the circles here, you know, the famous dirty old town and the gaswork, and they're sort of to symbolise the shape of the gasworks.
But that is part of what we wanted to create. You know, it's a real nod to the history of Salford.
So I've got some images here, and this is the original sign that was up all those years ago. And this will be where you...
That's exactly where I parked when I used to go and watch Dava play. Electric blue M3 convertible.
You were flash, weren't you?
I was flash. A little bit flash. That was a little bit flash.
The first ever M3 convertible behind the goal at Salford.
Yeah, I was. That's why I was so worried. I was worried that a ball was going to hit it. You know, I think there was a couple of fans that were against changing the logo only because they'd had tattoos on their legs.
The 2 young lads. I met one of them last week.
And what we've actually said is we'll pay for them to have them taken off if they want and redone. So, so that was the only problem.
I've listened to you now for half an hour talk about brands and logos, and I've kept very quiet. It's the quietest I've ever been. But when it comes to pies and stuff like that, you can't educate me on pies and stuff in from the north.
I can. That's what I grew up on. Pie and mash is an East London thing. I get it, they're different pies. Pies in Salford is completely different. The thing that I used to love every time that I went to the ground, cup of Bovril.
Yeah, no.
As well as the pies, but I love Bovril. I mean, Salford is now orange again. We've taken into consideration every single detail of this club and the history of this club because it's important, because people remember this. Salford really does have real spirit.
So this is a special year for Salford. So Salford actually is 100 years old. It's a 100th anniversary year for Salford actually as a city.
Well, do you know what we should do? Paint the city orange.